started the next one?
Now we will start Vijay Dhwaj now.
Vijay Dhwaja, right? We're on Vijay Dhwaja, right?
Yeah.
Thank you for that paper, Babaji. I'll send that back to you soon. Or I'll
Well,
send the second half soon.
better do it fast because once I'm flying, you'll have a hard time catching me.
Yeah. I'll try to do it as quickly as I can.
So we were doing verse number 4, 3rd Canto, 26th chapter. This is commentary by Vijay Dhwaj Tirtha. The verse says, Saesha Prakritim Sukshmam Daivim Gunmayim Vibhum Yadrachaya Upagatam Abhyapadyata Leelaya. So this verse is explained by different commentators, whether it is a description of Atma or Paramatma. So when it is for Atma, then it says that he, the individual living being, he accepted the Prakriti, which is subtle, which means unmanifest, and Daivi means belonging to the Lord, and Gunmai means consisting of the three gunas. And it came to him by the will of the Lord, Yadrichaya Upagatam Abhyapadyata Leelaya. And other is explaining according to Paramatma that when it was time for creation, then this Prakriti came, Lord took it by his own will as a part of his Leela and begins creation. So he says, Vijay Dhwaja says, Adhuna जीव ईश्वरयोः पारतंत्र अपारतंत्र आदि वैलक्षण्य ज्ञापनाय परस्य जगत सृष्ट्यादि महात्म्यादि कथन पूर्वकं जीवस्य तदधीनत्वेन प्रकृतिबद्धत्वं वक्तुमाह सएव. So now to give the distinction between Jiva and Ishvara, the individual living being and the controller, God, and to show this distinction that one is independent and other is dependent. He explains through this verse, Parasya Jagata Srishti Adi Mahatmya Kathan Purvakam, and to also explain the glory of the Supreme Lord in the form of creating the universe. And Jivasya tadadhinatvena prakriti baddhatvam. Jiva is under his control and bound by the Prakriti. So he explains this. To say this, he speaks this verse, Sai. So in his reading it is Sai Eva iti, and we are reading Saesha. Yo anadi guna vishishto yascha janmadi rahito जन्मादि मत जीव विलक्षण स सूक्ष्मां दैवीं क्रीडादि गुणवतीं देवस्य विष्णोरयमिति वा गुणमयीं सत्वादि गुणाभिमानिनीं यदृच्छया हरेरिच्छयोपगतां सदा समीपस्थितां प्रकृतिं श्रियम् अभ्यपद्यत लीलया इति प्रयोजनान्तरं निवारयति. So he says that Lord only who is Anadi Gun Visishta, who has these qualities of being Anadi, etc., described in the previous verse, who is devoid of birth, death, and so on, and Janmadima Jeev Lakshana, who is distinct from the living being, who undergoes the cycles of birth and death. Sa Sukshmam Devim, he of course here refers to the Lord. He accepted the Maya, which is called here as Sukshma, means unmanifest, and Devi means divine. It also means one who plays. because it comes from the root divu, kridayam, jugupsa, jigisa, vahar. There are many meanings of this root. So one of them is to play. So Devi also means which plays with the jivas, or Lord, with whom Lord plays. So Kridadi Gunavati, or it means Devasya Vishnoramiti Devi, or that which belongs to Lord Vishnu, therefore it is called Devi. And Gunamai contains three gunas, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So Krishna also uses this word Devi, Hiyasa Gunamai, Mama Maya Duratya. And Yadrichaya means Hare Richayopagatam. So it came by the will of Lord Hari. Sada Samipasthitam, always near to him. Prakritim Shriyam Abhapadyata. So Prakriti or Sri Abhapadyata means accepted. Lilayati Projanantram Nivarayati. And by the word Leela, it is excluded that there was any other purpose. So Lord has no other purpose but to play. So that's what it is, play for him. It may be suffering for the living beings, it is a play for him. Just like children take the puppy and twist its tail, and the puppy is crying, but it is a play for the child. Right? So that's what Lord is doing. He is playing. You may have a toothache, it's a play for him. So there is no other purpose. Atra prakriti shabdena chidachidatmake ubhe grahye. So he says that the word prakriti here, it refers to both the chidmaya and achidmaya. And vibhu sarvagata. Vibhu means all pervading. Iti anena prakriti abhipadanam na upcharikam kintu srishti abhimukaranam mukhikaranam karyam sucheti. So therefore, because he is vibhu, he is all pervading, so what does it mean that the prakriti came to him? He is all pervading, he is always there with everybody. So therefore he says that it is not aupcharik or temporary, or it happened only that time. But all it means that at that time this prakriti became ready for creation. That's what it means. Srishti abhimukhikaranam karyam suchayati. Tadapi swaprayojanam na iti yuktam lila.
Babaji, can I ask a question?
Yes.
You're translating this word abhimukhi
Karanam.
karana.
Yes.
It's a Shri suffix. You're translating this as ready for creation?
Getting ready or making it ready. Making it ready.
Okay. Abhimukhi, is that like, isn't that to turn towards, or
Yeah.
it was
Means
abhimukhi
turning
karana,
toward,
made to towards?
made towards creation.
Okay. Oh, made towards creation. Alright.
Srishti abhimukhi karanam.
That's a tree, right? That mukhi.
Mukhe chveya.
Yeah.
Na abhimukhi karanam iti abhimukhi karanam karoti.
Okay. Thank you.
So tadapi swaprayojanam na, and this is not his for his own sake. Means there is nothing that he has to achieve anything from this. So therefore it is the word Leela is used here. Leela. Okay. And then we have Kram Sandarbha, Jiva Goswami. Saesha Paramatma. So Saesha means Paramatma. Yadrichya Swartaya. Yadrichya means Swartaya, by its own will. Ya Leela Taya Abhyapadyata Akshata. So he translates the word Abhyapadyata as Akshata, means he glanced at it. So he looked at Prakriti. Prakriti was hanging around. He was not paying attention. So then he looked, and as soon as he looked, the creation started. That's the Big Bang. So when Lord Vishnu looks at Prakriti, then Big Bang occurs. Otherwise Prakriti is just going around like a cool cucumber. Not much happening. Lokvattu Leela Kavalyam iti Nyayat. So this is the Vedanta Sutra 2.2.21. And this is his Leela Kavalya. Sakshata iti Srute. And in the Upanishad also it is said that he glanced. Sakshata Lokanushrija. He glanced, and then the world were created. So that is his comment. Then we have Vishnu Chakravarti. Paramatma yadrichya eva swartaya eva sa swashaktitvad upagatam कर्म बंध जगत से शिक्षा समय एवं लीलिया अभ्यपद्यता जीव शक्ति रूपम वीर्यम तस्माद् आधत्ते अक्षते. So at that time Paramatma, what he did that
Babaji, where are you reading from?
Sarartha Darshani. Got it?
Oh, sorry, yeah, okay, I flipped to the wrong page, sorry. Yep.
So he also practically just repeats what Jiva Goswami has said, that this Devi Gunmayi Prakriti has come by his own will, Swartaya Sasaktitvat, because it is his Sakti, Upgatam, claim near to him, Karma Bandha Jagat Sisriksha Samaya. So when did she come? When it was time for him to desire to create the universe which is bound by karma. So all this time this karma like a seed was lying inactive. It's like so many seeds are lying inactive when it snows, and when the snow is melted and spring comes, then many of these things, seeds start sprouting, and then you see many plants coming out of earth. So when it is time, then all the creation begins. So then Leelaya, as a play, he looked at this Prakriti. And looking means that he transferred the jivas into Prakriti. So just as when there is a male and female union, then female becomes pregnant. So Lord also makes the Prakriti as pregnant, because Lord is called Purusha, like a male, and Prakriti a female. So he impregnates And impregnation means that the jiva is put inside the womb. So this is the process. When he looks at Prakriti, then jivas are transferred through his glands into the womb of Prakriti, and then all the jivas have karma. Then they start making the bodies. The universe starts coming into existence. So therefore it says Jiva Shakti Rupam Viryam Tasyam Adadhat. That he transplanted or he planted the potency. The word Virya means semen, Virya also means potency. So the same word is used. Akshata iti artha, he glanced. So in Bhagavad Gita also Krishna says, Mama yonir mahad brahma tasmin garbham dadhamyam. That this mahad Brahma, Brahma there means Prakriti, this great Prakriti is my yoni, or the source in which I put the seed. So that's what is being described here. Then the next is Siddhant Pradeep. He doesn't have anything on this. I think there is only one line. Saesha Ukta Lakshana Vibhu Sarvavyapi Devim Swasya Devasya Shaktim Srishti Adi Lilaya Adhipadita. So Saesha means that which was described above, and Vibhu means Sarvavyapi, all pervading, and Devi means his own, is the Deva, Shaktim, Srishti Adi, Lilaya. For the pastime of creation, he glanced at it. And then we have Subodhini. Tasya आत्मरूपस्य पुरुषस्य वस्तुतो निर्लेपत्वात् प्रकृति नियामकत्वात् च जीवत्वं सहजं न भवति इति वक्तुं जीवोपाधिमाः स एष इति. So he says that Purusha is Atmarupa, because if you remember in the previous verse the definition of Purusha was given as Atma, and he said that Purusha is the Lakshya and Atma is the Lakshana. So he is speaking the same way. Tasya Atma Rupasya Purushasya. Purusha is Atma Rupa in the form of Atma. In reality it is Nirlepa. It is not touched by anything. It is not smeared by anything. Means it is completely pure. Prakriti Niyamakatvatse. And it is the controller of Prakriti. So Jivatvam Sahajam na bhavati. Then it is not easy for it to become Jiva. Because in Vallabhacharya's philosophy, Brahman becomes Jiva. That's why Vallabhacharya's philosophy is called Shuddha Advaitavad. It is pure monism. In Advaitavad also, Brahman is becoming Jiva by the upadhi of Prakriti. And here also Vallabhacharya, Brahman becomes Jiva by the upadhi. Only thing is that in his case Jiva is real, upadhi is real. In case of Shankaracharya, Jiva is not real, upadhi is not real. So that's why he called it as pure Advaita. So it is not very easy to become Jiva. It takes a lot of work.
Babaji?
Yes.
The jiva is real. Is it also nitya? Vallabha?
Yes. But it is not Nadi.
It's a nadi.
It is not Anadi.
It is not a nadi. Oh.
Yes.
So this doesn't follow the jiva, the vallabha.
No fall. It is not, what do you mean fall? There is no Jiva to begin with and Brahman becomes Jiva. It's not falling. Falling means already Jiva is there and then it drops down.
Babaji,
Yes, sir.
interesting. Does the same Brahman also becomes Ishvara then?
Same Brahman becomes Ishvara, yes. Because it is Advaitavad.
So how does it become Ishvara then? Also some upadhi is there?
Upadhis, there is Nirupadhi and Upadhi. And this Upadhi is not like Upadhi of Sankaracharya. There is Purna Purushottam. And then there is Akshar Brahma. And then there is Jiva. So something like Bhagavan, Paramatma, Brahman. So
When the jiva gets moksha, then he becomes Brahman then and jiva becomes moksha.
no, it's a little bit of complicated. You just listen what he is going to say first. Vallabhacharya is not easy to understand. They get pushti, and in pushti there is oneness, but also there is separation. So what he says is that Brahman is Satchidananda, right? Isvara Parama Krishna Satchidananda Vindra, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. So he says that when the Sat potency, Chit potency and Ananda potency, all three are manifest, that is the Akshar Brahma. And when only Sat potency and Chit potency are manifest, and Ananda potency becomes Tirohita and manifest, that is called Jiva. And when only Sat potency is manifest and Chit and Ananda are not manifest, that is called Prakriti, matter. So it is only one Brahman. That's how he tries to explain the Advaita Srutis or non-dualistic statements. That Jiva is also Brahman, but Ananda potency Tirohita. And Prakriti is also Brahman, Ananda and Chit potency and manifest. So Brahman sans Ananda is Jiva, Brahman sans Ananda and Chit is Prakriti. So that's why he says Jivatvam Sahajam na bhavati iti vaktum jivopadhi mahasa eshati. Saeva lakshitah karanattvena uktah purusha. So what is the meaning of the word sa? He is explaining each word now. Is that lakshita, for whose definition was given above, who was called as the cause. Nadiratma Purusho Nirguna Prakriti Para Pratyak Dhama Swam Jyoti Viswam Yana Samandita. That is the Sa, that Purusha. And Esha is Atma, Nadiratma Purusha. aham pratyavedya, that which is known by the sense of I, tasya katham evam viparya. So how this viparya, this change happens, that Purusha becomes Atma. When if this doubt is there, then he says Prakriti Atma Vyatirikta, Prakriti which is Atma Vyatirikta, which is separate from Atma. Sankhya Deshino Mate Purushavan Nitya. And one school of Sankhya says that it is eternal like Purusha. That is the classical Sankhya of Ishwar Krishna, Sankhya Karika. And Bhagavadiya Sankhya to Bhagavata Shakti. And Bhagavadiya Sankhya, which is described here in Bhagavatam, Prakriti is not independent, but it is the power of Bhagavan. Sankhya Shastram tu na Bhagavantam Vishayi Karoti. In Sankhya Karika and Kapila's Sankhya Sutra, Lord is not spoken, Bhagavan is not described. Tat pravartakatvat, tat niyamakatvat cha aksharaad arvag eva tat shastra pravartehe. So, this Sankhya Shastra comes later after Akshara. Akshara is before. Akshara and Purushottama, these are the two popular words which are used by him. It's like we use Bhagavan, Paramatma and Brahman. In Vallabha's philosophy, they have the word Akshara, which is the Brahman. They call Brahma Sambandh, right? In Vallabhacharya, when they take Diksha, they call Brahma Sambandh. So, because their philosophy is Advaitavad, Brahman ultimately wins, that Sambandh. So, Akshara Dharvageva Tasshastra Pravritti. That the philosophy of Sankhya is later on, after Akshara. Akshara is before. Panchadha Bhagavan Anadiriti. So, it is in 5 ways that Bhagavan is Anadi. That is described here. So, number 1 is Purushottama. So, Uttama Purushastvanya Paramatma iti udaharita. In Bhagavad Gita it is described in the 15th chapter. In the description that there are 2 Charakshara Kshara Sarvani Bhutani Kutas Daumau Purusho Loka Charakshara Evacha Kshara Sarvani Bhutani Kutastha Aksharuchate Uttama Purushastvanya Paramatma iti udaharita. So this is Uttama Purusha, this is the Paramatma. यो लगते हैं लोकत्रयम आवश्य विभूति अवेश्वर यस्मात् क्षरमतीत हम अक्षरात् चोत्तम अतो अस्मि लोके वेदे प्रथिता पुरुषोत्तम. This is the Purushottam he is referring here. The number 2 is the Akshara. Akshara Akshara evacha. So this is the Akshara refers to Jiva also. And Kala, time is also Anadi, and Prakriti and Purusha. So these are 5 Anadi, and all 5 are manifestation of Bhagavan. Idam matam asritya yatra sankhya siddhant pravritti natu prakriti. So he says that this Sankhya, which he is talking about, that is the one which accepts these things, not the Prakrit Sankhya, Sankhya of Ishwar Krishna. Tatra Purushasya eva Prakriti Niyamana अवस्थां परित्यज्य प्रकृति अधीन अवस्थायां जीवत्वं तदुच्यते प्रकृतिमति. So he says that Purusha Prakriti Niyaman Avastham Parityajya, giving up the position of being the control of Prakriti, Prakriti Adheen Avasthaya Jivatvam Tadachyate, comes under the influence of Prakriti, and that is called Jiva. So that is described here as Sayesha Prakritim Sukshmam Daivim Gunmayim Vibhu Yadrichaya Upgatam Aparabhipadyate Lilaya. So Sankara Vallabhacharya is explaining this verse in the form of how this Purusha, that is Paramatma, becomes Jiva. So this becoming Jiva is also out of Leela. That Purusha means Bhagavan or Paramatma, whatever we call. Out of his own Leela, Yadrichya, he becomes Jiva. So everything is Leela. Therefore Leelavattu Kaivalyam. So it is he only who is doing the Leela. When he becomes Jiva, he plays, he becomes Ishvara, creates. So all his Leela. So that's what he is explaining here. So by his own Leela he comes under the influence of Prakriti. Otherwise how is that Prakriti can influence him? So Sukshma, now Prakriti is called here as Sukshma, Prakritim Sukshmam. Sukshma means Durgaya, Komalangi. Two meanings he gives. One is, it is Durgaya, it is very difficult to understand Prakriti. Another is Komalangi, that has very, what do you call, tender limbs, very delicate, like a baby. एष इत्यनेन कामोपि यस्य प्रथमं भगवतिच्छया संजाता इति ज्ञातव्यम्. So he says that this desire also comes by the will of Bhagavan. It should be known. अन्यथा तस्याम आसक्तिर न स्यात्. Otherwise, how is it possible that he can, the jiva can become attached to Prakriti? It's only by his will. Kamamaya eva ayam Purusha iti Shrutesya. In the Shruti also it is said that Purusha is Kamamaya, is full of desire. अतः कामवशात् ताम भगवत शक्ति रूपाम प्रकृतिम देवस्य संबंधिनीं मोहिकाम बंधन हेतु भूति गुणमयीम आदौ विभु समर्थताम भोक्तुम यदृच्छया सापि भगवत प्रेरणया स्वयमेव भोग्यत्वेन समागता भोक्तुम प्रभो सा लीलोचिता इति ताम अभिपत्य भोक्तुम तया साहिक्यम प्राप्तवान्. So he says that Kamvasat, out of desire to enjoy, he accepted this Prakriti, which is the power of Bhagavan. And Devi means Devasya Sambandhani, which is related to the Deva. And Gunamayi means it bewilders, because Guna means rope, and therefore Bandhan Hetu Bhut. It binds. So Jiva became bound. And Vibhu Samartha Tam Bhuktum. Vibhu means all pervading. Vibhu means one who is capable. So he is capable of enjoying her. Yadrichya, how it came? Sapi Bhagavad Preranaya. Swayameva Bhogatvena Samagata. So it is by the inspiration of Bhagavan that she approached the Jiva, becoming as the object of his enjoyment. Prabho sa lilochita, and Prabhu. So Prabho sa lilochita, she is proper for the Leela of the Lord. tam abhyapadyata ubhoktum taya sahaikya. So then the jiva became fused with her. If you want to enjoy something, you have to become one with it. Right? If you want to enjoy food, you have to put the food in your mouth, and the food has to become one with you. If you want to take fragrance, it has to go inside your nose and be part of you. So that's how the enjoyment happens. So then he became like matter. Now it doesn't matter that he's part of matter. So therefore he says, Prakriti saha ekyam praptavam. In oneness with the Prakriti. So this is a completely different explanation of this verse. Nobody has explained it like this. This is his view. Alright. Then we have Subodhani Prakash of Purushottam Goswami. Saesha ityatra. Saesha ityatra jiva upadhimiti. So he is talking about Vaktum jiva upadhimaha. Jivatva प्रयोजनवत एव न तेन आत्मनः प्रत्यग्धामत्व क्षतिरिति अपि ज्ञापितम्. So this upadhi is to make it jiva. This does not mean that he gives up his quality of pratyagdhamatva. Okay. I went in the wrong line. Jiva upadhimiti jivavata jivatva prayojak dharma. I went in the wrong line. Sorry. So jiva upadhi means that which is useful for one to be jiva. That characteristic. That is the meaning of jiva upadhi. Whatever it may be. It doesn't say that. And then he's commenting on the word karnatvena. So saeva lakshitaha karnatvena uktaha purusha. So gunjanakatvena iti ashanketi. Gunjanakatvena that kathameva iti ashanketi. So I think this Karnatvena is translating as Gunjanakatvena, or the cause of the gunas. Asyam ashankayam anvayastu idam matam ashrityeti anena bodhyam. So he has here tasya kathamevam viparyati ashankya prakriti atmavitarikta sankhya ekdasanam. And idam matam asritya. So you have to apply this idam matam asritya with iti ashankya. Iti ashankya idam matam asritya atra sankhya siddham pravati. Sankhya ek desine iti anishwaradi sankhyavadini. Sankhya karika of Ishwar Krishna. Tatpravartakatvat bhagavata sankhyamat pravartakatvat. So he said that he is the pravartaka, tatpravartakatvat tadaniyamakatvat. So sankhya is also propagated by the Lord. Tathacha yadi vishayi kuryat tada brahma vadat na vyatiruchyet. So in this And Ishvara Sankhya, they don't accept Ishvara. There are two Sankhya philosophies. One is the atheistic Sankhya and one is the theistic Sankhya. So it says Sankhya Shastram tu na Bhagavantam Vishay Karoti. It does not accept Bhagavan. But if it accepts, then it will not be different from Brahmavad. Tatha sati tasya asya cha phalbedho na syat. And there will be no difference between this what is being explained and that. Ato bhagavataha etat pravartakatvat tatha ityartha. So therefore Bhagavan has propagated that. So basically the basic difference between two Sankhya is that one accepts God, other does not accept. Kincha atra prakriti adhinatvam samsarartham purushasya atra vachya. So Purusha, he accepts dependence or slavery to Prakriti for being in the samsara, in the material world. Tadapi bhagavataha prakriti niyamakatvad anupannam. So that is not possible because Lord is the controller of Prakriti. Tadahu tan niyamakatvat. So that is said that he is the controller of that. Sankhyantarad Vishesh Bodh Hetu Matrityam Shastra Maryadam Pancham. So he is making the distinction between this Sankhya and the other Sankhya by saying that in this particular Sankhya, theistic Sankhya, 5 things are anadi. In the other one, only 2 things are anadi, Prakriti and Purusha, nothing else. They don't talk about time also. No Akshar, no Purushottam, nothing of that. Kaladi Trayasya Anaditvam Atra Spashtam. So these 3 things, Kala, Prakriti and Purusha, they are anadi. So this is clear because this was already spoken about. And Purushottam Aksharayostu Gitayam Siddham. And Purushottam and Akshar, they are described as anadi in Bhagavad Gita. Do Purusha Loke Sman Kshara Ksharvani Bhutani Kutastha Akshara. Prakriti Purusha Vidyanadavu Bhavapi. So Purusha is said anadi there. Atra anumanshya te prakrite saktitvam cha anumanshate devi iti anena. So this Prakriti is explained here as the power, and therefore the word Devi is used there. Ata idam matam anyato bhinnam tadahu natu prakritam. So he says therefore this principle which is explained is different and not the other classical Sankhya. Tatriti prastut Sankhya. So tatra purushasya prakriti niyaman avastham parityaja. This tatra refers to the Sankhya which is being described here. Separate from that. So this is Vallabhacharya's explanation. So it's not really complicated. And then we have Bala Prabodhini. एवं पुरुष स्वरूपम निरूप्य तस्य कर्तृत्वादि तो प्रकृति अध्यासेन इति वक्तुम प्रकृति निरूपण पूर्वकम तेन तत्स्वीकारमाह सयेष. So in this way, after explaining the Purusha, that is in the last verse, and then to explain that the Kartritva in the Purusha is because of adhyas or superimposition onto the Prakriti, he speaks this verse with the explanation of Prakriti along with it. Prakriti nirupan purvakam tena tat svikarama. So there is a description of Prakriti here, and also explanation that Prakriti is accepted by the Purusha. Saesha Ukta Lakshano Vibhu Swatantra Purusha. So this Purusha described in the previous verse, who is Vibhu, and he gives the meaning of Vibhu here as Swatantra or independent. That Purusha Suksmam Avibhakta Nama Rupam. Suksmam or subtle, we translate as that in which there is no division of name and form yet. So now we have the gross manifestation of Prakriti, where everything has a name and a form. And in its original form, there is no name and no form. That's why it is called unmanifest, avyakt. Nothing is vyakt or manifest. So manifestation means name and form. That's what manifestation means. And where something manifests, it has a name and it has a form. Gunmayi Satvadi Trigunaatmikam. So Gunmayi means which has three gunas of Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Devim, that means Devasya Bhagavata Shakti Rupam, that it is the energy of Bhagavan, who is called Deva. Yadrichya eva upagatam praptam, and it became available to him by the will of the Lord. He was not desiring it. It just happened, like you walk on the street, suddenly you find $5 bill. So then you go and buy ice cream. You are not desiring to eat ice cream. But it is the will of God. And so like that he got Prakriti. He was not desiring it. By the will of God he got Prakriti and said, let's enjoy. What is the problem? So yadrichaya upgatam praptam prakritim lilaya hetu bhutiya lilartha. So lilaya is the third case, and this tritiya is in the hetu. This is the causal tritiya. Means for the sake of lila. Prayojan. So vidya vasati, like that. He stays for the sake of education. Lila artham abhyapadyata svikritvan. So he accepted this for the sake of lila. So this is the commentary on the fourth verse. If you have any question on this, otherwise we will stop here.
Babaji, could you talk a little bit about who this commentator is?
This person, he is a follower of Vallabhacharya, Girdhar Goswami.
He's a follower of Babajis, you said?
Yeah, he comes in the line of Vallabha, maybe after 5 or 6 generations from Vallabhacharya. Purushottam is much later, I think. Purushottam, I think, is in the 4th generation. 4th or 5th. And Girdhar came much later. So he wrote...
Most famous.
Yeah,
right?
Purushottam is the most famous one. Because he has written a lot. And he really gets into the heart of Vallabhacharya. I think he is the one who probably understands him quite well. But because Vallabhacharya's commentary is very, very difficult to understand and is not available on the whole book. So for that reason he wrote Bala Prabodhani. That's why he gave the name Bala Prabodhani. It's for the babies, little kids, so they can also read and understand. So many times most of the time he is not following Vallabhacharya. He tries to give a simpler meaning to the verse, easily understandable, more direct. He does not go too much into complicated issues. And this is available in the whole book.
I have just another quick question, if I may, Babaji.
Yes.
Did any of our acharyas really respond to Bala? Because it's such a different reading of the Bhagavatam that he provides.
No, no, they are
Do
not.
any of them talk?
No. Sometimes they quote him because he has obviously written before them, especially in 10th Canto. Sanatana Goswami also makes reference to him sometimes, but they don't refute him.
Why do you think that is the case? It's such a so
Well, that
odd
is,
to me.
well, he has his own view. I don't know what is wrong. At least he's not like Advaitavad. He's not making this whole idea that there is only Brahman and no Jiva. For him, Jiva is
So,
real. For him, everything is real. The
so
world
they
is
didn't
real.
see him as a worthy Purva Paksha because he's not contradicting the basic
Yeah,
theology of Bhagavatam.
yes. Because whatever principles he is speaking, he actually brings them out from Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita.
Right, yeah.
Just that he has a different way of seeing things. So they don't refute him. And they don't refute any other Vaishnava.
Is this out of respect because they feel like, well, he's a Vaishnava and he's got a different view, so I'll just respect it just so long as he's not an Advaitin. I can
Yes.
respect it.
Yeah, because the biggest danger to bhakti is Advaitvad. Other processes are not danger to bhakti. Whether it is Vallabhacharya or Nimbargacharya, it's just a difference in explaining. So there is no danger in that. Only thing is that this whole Chaitanya Charitamrita story is very difficult to understand. This that Vallabhacharya came and he spoke with Mahaprabhu and he said this. I don't understand that.
Yeah.
Very difficult. What is this mystery behind it?
Yeah, because it seems like there's two entirely different attitudes being adopted.
Because if this was something like this, then Goswamis would have also refuted him somewhere. But they don't.
Exactly.
And he has not completed his commentary, so I don't know how he went there to show. He could not complete. He died before he could complete. So that is another thing. Whether he just took little bit of what he has written and to show him, it does not make sense.
Yeah. And he
So,
would have to travel all the way to Puri, right?
yeah, by walking, I don't understand why he has to do that. And what was
He
the
was
need?
already, so,
What was the need for him? He was already an acharya, he already had followers. Why he has to write few chapters, commentary and few chapters and then go to Puri to show it to Mahatma? So this is a very
yes.
mysterious thing. Why this story is there and what is the significance? I mean, it is a fact that Vallabhacharya and Mahaprabhu met, that they also accept. That because he was living near Banaras in this village Adaila. He lived in Banaras first, but because Banaras is a place of Advaitavadis, so they were always troubling him. And then coming for debate, what he actually did, then he wrote a letter. That letter is available, refuting Advaitavad. And he took this letter and he hung it outside Vishwanath temple, the famous temple of Lord Shiva. And he says that don't bother me, you read this and anyone can refute this, come and talk to me. So he was not an ordinary scholar, he challenged everybody there.
Wow.
Yeah, that letter is there, you read it.
Wow.
So then to avoid all this he went and lived in Adail. That's where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went and met him, which is described in Chaitanya Charitamrita. And even in their Varta it is described that they met and Vallabhacharya offered him food with tulsi on it, which means he accepted him as God. So I don't know from where these other stories have come. This is something to be researched. Yes.
I've been reading a lot about these early, accounts of Chaitanya's life. There's a lot, like Sahajiya literature, and how the Chaitanya Charitamrita was trying to talk to a lot of different people who were giving different accounts for his life. It seems like there's a lot of different stories.
There are many stories and many different ways of stories. Chaitanya Charitamrita is one way, but there are many other stories. When you see them and how they see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and meeting, like there was this famous person from Assam who came and met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and his meeting is described. The way we see it and the way they see it is totally different.
Yeah.
All right. So I got the visa for Mississippi.
Excuse me?
I got the visa for Mississippi.
Oh, good. Excellent. Great. I'm working on getting your class.
So are there any students?
We have 6 so far.
I told them 50. They asked me how many students you have. I said 50.
50?
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't have that many.
Well, I have to say something.
Yeah.
The guy,
That's,
he was interviewing me, and
as long as we have 10,
he
it's
was asking,
considered full class.
what will you teach there? I said, I teach Indian philosophy. And have you taught before? I said, yes. And how many students you have? I said, about 50. So that's good. So I hope he doesn't come to Mississippi to see my class. He will cancel my visa.
I think you're safe.
We can put 50 microphones in there.
At least the classroom can hold 50. If they don't come, what can I do?
Yeah. Just say it was they were all sick that day.
And some people are on Ustream, some on Skype.
They won't check.
No, I know they
They'll
won't.
never.
No, it's their duty to ask, why you think you are qualified to teach this course. So then I have to brag about myself.
This is what America teaches you, how to inflate your own ego.
Otherwise you don't even get visa.
Right? You have to be arrogant just to come into our country.
But not too arrogant.
Right.
Just the right amount.
Then they'll see you as a threat to their own
Yes.
ego.
So next Saturday I will be in Germany.
Okay?
I have to figure out what will be the proper time there.
Okay. Maybe you can let us know if you're able to meet.
Able to what?
Maybe you can just send me and Purushottama an email if you're able to meet at a particular time.
Yeah, Saturday I will meet. After that, the Saturday, that means second one, I will not be because I will have seminar.